who and where to turn to for endometriosis specialist care. I'd say it all comes down to the individual, your individual character and your individual case of endometriosis. Let's delve in. You can access various resources to find a specialist. I'd start with the BSGE website. The BSGE website lists accredited endometriosis centers. You can search for an endo clinic local to you and access the information of the medical practitioners operating there. That means you have the name of the gynecologist, so you can run a quick Google search. You might come across their profile on websites such as Doctify or Top Doctors, which can contain reviews by former or existing patients. In the event where you can't find a reputable endo specialist near you, you can inquire with your GP about referring you elsewhere. Your GP may have to make a case for your referral, which will then be reviewed by the NHS local authority for approval. You can also try word of mouth. Inquire about endometriosis specialists within online endometriosis communities. Ask other patients about their positive experiences. Inquire for surgeon recommendations. Then you have social media. Some endometriosis specialists have profiles on social media, like Instagram. They'll typically state in their profiles if they work with the NHS, private practice, or both. Feel free to drop them a DM with your inquiry. Note, your experience with one consultant may differ when compared with another patient's experience. Firstly, you might not mesh well with the same specialist. If you don't feel understood, are unable to build a rapport, or simply don't trust the medical representation in front of you, then they may not be the doctor for you. You need to feel safe and confident in the person whose hands you're putting your health in. Secondly, your case may not be seen as urgent as another patient's. This may lead to what some women describe as doctor dismissiveness. Your symptoms may be disregarded, or you may be discouraged from certain treatments like surgery, whereas another patient may have managed to get on the surgery wait list straight away. Thirdly, not all endo clinics are built equal. Let me explain. There are some incredible endometriosis specialists out there. The problem is they are few and far between. With an increase in endometriosis awareness, the demand for endometriosis services has skyrocketed. Those who've built a strong reputation have longer wait times. That can apply to their private practice too. The growing demand for endometriosis services has not only generated exceptional consultants in their field, it also means that it's opened the opportunities to hospitals to tap into that endo demand without, in my opinion, having the adequate resources and capacity to truly treat patients. As we know, healthcare is a business. If there's a demand in a specific sector, for example, endometriosis care, and a hospital is able to acquire the budget and meet some criteria, then boom, it can call itself an endo center. What's unclear is how these centers actually qualify for accreditation and whether the criteria involves the training of all staff and adequate budget allocation for resources for both endometriosis diagnosis and treatment. Now, I recently spoke about my recent appointment at a BSGE accredited endometriosis centre in London. I was sat opposite a gynecologist who was unable to speak with me about endometriosis, not one iota. She couldn't authorise care. She had to run everything by the single consultant at the clinic. The most she offered me was fobbing me off with anti-acid meds for my thoracic symptoms. She even went on to say that she wished that MDT would communicate with patients directly because she couldn't make sense of their notes on my MRI. On top of that, without a colorectal specialist, this endo centre claimed not to have one. Surgery for my endo with confirmed bowel involvement was ruled out, even though the bowel is known to be one of the most common non-reproductive organs affected by the disease. But then again, that was my individual experience. Your experience at the same centre could have involved sitting across from the consultant himself, where you felt heard, understood, and received a treatment plan that works well for your kind of endo. The endometriosis condition is unique to the individual. The level of care experienced is subject to the individual. What your symptoms were at any given time, what your MRI imaging revealed, how desperate your need for care is, how your case is being received by the clinician, what resources are available at that time, how long the wait list is, and whether the team at that particular centre is trained to treat your endo. Working your way through the maze of endo healthcare is like navigating a minefield. It can take sitting across from many endo specialists at several endo centres, being gaslit and dismissed. Don't give up until you land on one who can actually help you. Your case matters too.